Can you crank, please? So with this gauge, we're gonna do just a simple test that we already done. So we're gonna put some, and look what happens. So we're gonna put some fluid. This doesn't look good at all. Welcome to OGS Mechanics Workshop. Here we fix all type of cars, electric cars, combustion engine cars. Follow me for interesting jobs from our workshop translated in videos. This Ford Transit is hard to start when it's cold. After that it's absolutely fine and you could drive for the whole day. However, next morning it's gonna be again hard to start, which takes minutes before you fire up. Now we went through pretty much everything. We went through timing, we went through fueling system, and nothing has been found. We check all the components, everything seems to be fine. Up until the last thing that's we fully excluded at the beginning, compression. I mean, this van is 2019. I wouldn't expect to have a compression issue. However, look what we're reading. Can you crank, please? So with this gauge, we are measuring the compression in the combustion chamber. Now what we have here is 11 bars. Just to put it in perspective, to have an understanding, a petrol engine works with compression 10 to 15 bars, while a diesel, the modern diesel engines, they work with a compression of around 18 to 25 bars. So what we have here, 11 bars, is way below what we should have. And of course the engine will be hard to start, although the other aspects are fine. The compression, it's way too low to ignite the fuel. And what we have to do now, we have to take the cylinder head off, because the problem is gonna be in there. Now it could be one of the things. It could be the camshafts, it could be the valves, it could be the pistons, it could be maybe the head gasket incorrect. We don't know. So we know for certain some work has been done, because this problem is on the vehicle for the last few months, as we've been told by the customer. So we know some work has been done and someone else was really struggling to get it fixed. Now we have to uncover the mystery, and this stage we will proceed stripping the top end and try to identify. But we know for certain at this moment compression, it is an issue, which it could cause the hard to start issue. So let's crack on it. Take the cylinder head off, sir. That's what you're gonna do. Cylinder head is off the engine. Now we can definitely see lots of new parts. So if we look, the camshaft assembly has been replaced. It looks brand new. Now usually when this assembly gets replaced is the moment that the timing belt fails, and on those engines this is a very common problem. It is a wet belt that drives the engine, located here, front of the engine. Now The big problem with those belts is that they were failing way before the replacement interval. Initially, Ford advised that this has to be replaced every 140,000 miles. Now, there were instances that they were failing way below, before that, even 20, 30,000 miles. At some point, it was an issue with the load. But since Ford reduced the interval of replacement to about 100,000 miles. So what we see here tells us that this engine has work done, and possibly due to a timing belt failure, because otherwise there's no reason to replace the camshaft assembly. We also notice injectors, they're all quite new. What happens also, those injectors are failing on those engines. Obviously the timing cover, that it is a serviceable item every time when it has to be dismantled, because it's sealed with silicone and there's absolutely no way taken out and still be straight. So definitely some work has been done. Now, big question, why we have low compression? Is it from the cylinder head? Is it from the valves? Is it from the pistons? There are a few findings that we have already seen. So first of all, going to the pistons. Now, it is unlikely that we're going to have piston rings, because they're not common at all. And we checked with the engine running, we did not had a lot of gases. And what is important, the pistons on every cylinder, they should be slightly higher than the cylinder block level. And if it's the same on all of them, that's a good indication we don't have a conrod failure. I would not suspect a conrod failure, because if that would be the case, the engine will be run very bad. However, our problem was that it was just hard to start, and after we were starting, it was running quite even. So I'm not suspecting a conrod failure. And I can see that all the pistons, they go slightly higher than the cylinder block level, which is absolutely fine. Now, moving forward to the cylinder head and gasket. Those gaskets, they have thickness. Here it's another important aspect, whether the right gasket has been used. According to the distance that the piston travels above the level of the block, gaskets, they have different thickness. So this is one of the thickest gaskets. So also, if this gasket is a bit thicker than what it should be, it could affect the compression. So we have to check whether this is the correct gasket for the piston measurements. And also another important aspect that we could lead to loss of compression are the valves. So normally expected that if any work has been done to the cylinder head, the valves should have been sealed, should have been lapped. We're going to do just a simple test that we already done. So we're going to put some, and look what happens. So we're going to put some fluid. This doesn't look good at all. So those valves are leaking badly. This is another and probably the main reason for which we are losing compression in this engine, affecting the start. So at this stage, the cylinder head has to be redone. The valves have to be either replaced, but they're quite bad. So here we have a significant loss of compression. We have to check the gasket if it's the right, because we have already a camshaft assembly new. We know this is fine, so no issue in here. So here is where we have to concentrate to fix our compression issue. We managed to get to the bottom of it, and after we're gonna fix the valves, we confirm the gasket thickness, we should be able to put everything back, and hopefully the van should easy to start at cold. Can't see anything else, but definitely we see something significant. So let's get on having this ready. We pretty much have all the parts, and we have prepared the block to put the head back on, all nice clean. We've got a new head gasket, but before we're gonna install the head, so what we had to do, we've replaced the cylinder head altogether. Now the reason behind it, if you come close, those are the valve seats. I mean, they're looking very bad. Hopefully it's visible enough. So they are very pitted, and then the only way to have this rectified with the BC is so bad, and all the exhausts are so bad. And way to fix it, it was to replace the valve seats, which pretty much came close to having a new head. So, and I just want to show you the difference. Yeah, on the other one we already is equipped. We have new exhaust valves. We reused the inlet valves, which they were still good. It's a brand new. And what I want to do a test, vacuum test, to show you the difference between how the old head was sealing and how the new one. With this machine, we're gonna make vacuum, and then we're gonna test 2 by 2 each valve, how good they are sealing. So what we expect the vacuum to be in excess of probably 80. The higher it is, the better the seal on the valve. So to start with, we're gonna just turn it on and gonna lock it to see exactly how it goes. So it goes to 80, 85 hectopascal. So let's start with those 2 valves. I'm gonna press on them, and then they reach just about 50. Second one, about 50. Pretty much the same. Pretty much the same on the on all pistons, but we knew that there's an issue because obviously we had low compression. Now let's see the difference with the new cylinder head. Let's see how we're gonna run this. Is it gonna be good? So first cylinder, yeah, big difference. Big difference. For certain, this is much better. With this, we're gonna have compression. We are ready to go. Have the cylinder head back on. Also, one thing that we've noticed, the head gasket was slightly thicker than it should be. So we've got the right head gasket. We are ready now to go with all the components back on the car and get the transit working again. This transit, it's all together now with the cylinder head back on, new cylinder head, and should have a lot of compression. Let's prove it has. Oh, big difference, big difference. And we're gonna run a test drive just to make sure there are no leaks. We're gonna do another cold start in the morning, but obviously we did found an issue. We have rectified, and we have zero doubt that we still have a problem. A road test, and we'll catch up in the morning. Everything is installed on the van. We had an extensive road test yesterday. We've checked it all good, and now is the time where we're gonna check the cold start, which was an issue previously, and that's why we had everything stripped. Previously it was taking about half a minute, even more, sometimes several attempts before the van will start. Let's see now. Spot on. Exactly how it should be. Here was the story of a Ford Transit that he had issues on a cold startup and afterwards was running absolutely fine. We have found the cylinder had the valve seats were pitted, the valves were not sealing properly and was losing compression big time. We have now fixed it. This van is ready to go to his customer. And if you like these videos, don't forget to follow me, subscribe using the button below, and stay close for more videos from the workshop about car repairs and car in general. See you next time.